Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology's Hiranya's channel, your one-stop astrology channel. From the ghats of Kashi in the night, I want to introduce another transit to you. And this transit is Saturn Transit in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra. That will happen on 27th of December. And till the end of April, this Shani Dev is going to be in the Nakshatra of Brihaspati, Purva Bhadrapada. As the Nakshatra name suggests, it's called the auspicious footsteps. It is the auspiciousness that follows a destruction, that follows a sacrifice. That is the nature of Saturn transit in Purva Bhadrapada. In this video, I am going to talk about the ascendant-wise analysis. So do check your ascendant. You can watch this video as per your ascendant. You can watch this video as per your moon sign also. Just when you're watching this as per your moon sign, Vedic moon sign, you should focus more on the psychological aspect of the transit. Now, if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. And so if you want to know more about your life, and if you want to know in a snapshot, in a PDF format, you can book a system-generated PDF report. It's a computer-generated Kundali that not only holds secrets of your life, yogas, but also tells you a lot about your personality in general, like a snapshot, like a bird's eye view of your horoscope with 10 years of prediction and also a bonus numerology section. Do check that out. Link is in the description box below. Now let's understand more about Saturn transit in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Aries ascendant. Now for Aries ascendant, Saturn transit in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will be in the 11th house. Now from 27th of December till 28th of April, Saturn's movement in this nakshatra will span Aquarius, which is your 11th house, and then to Pisces, which is your 12th house. Now, when you are considering the 11th house, you have to consider the profits, the gains that will come in your life. But you have to understand that what does Saturn represent? Saturn is a planet of karma. Saturn is a planet that represents philosophy of life, the karma yoga, and 11th house is the karma phal. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, on the other hand, represents sacrifice, represents rituals, represents letting go, represents the burning of the desire. That means you burn the tamas and convert it into sattva. It is a transmuting energy that moves from the negative to the positive. So when Saturn goes in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, in your case, it is your 10th and 11th Lord going in Purva Bhadrapada. This is the final time it is going in Purva Bhadrapada, and after this, for the next 30 years, it won't go in this nakshatra. This can be one final sacrifice, especially with respect to your career, that if you walk that extra mile, if you move that extra distance, if you do something extra and go for that extra sacrifice, maybe it can be a sacrifice of your of certain say expectations of life, you will find success. After all, Saturn is in its Mool Trikon zodiac sign. On the other hand, Saturn's next movement will be in the 12th house from 30th of March. So for 1 month, Saturn's Purva Bhadrapada energy will overpower your 12th house. I will make another video for that, but just try to understand that Saturn is going towards 12th house, house of moksha, house of liberation. So you will find that you are getting free, you are getting liberated from much of the problems of life. Now definitely, because the theme of Saturn is of career, because of the 10th and 11th house, you stand to gain finances. You can start important work during this time, but this will also demand quitting the unnecessary. So Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada, it means that you will have to let go of a lot of things in order to create way for more things that will come in your life in the future. And if you do that, you will stand to gain a lot of things, you will stand to achieve a lot of things in life. And Kashi is a city. I am making this video in the ghats of Kashi, which is a reminder that nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. And if you are a Bhakt of Mahadev, you will surrender everything to God, and you will realize that if you are temporary, if you are constantly evolving and constantly changing, then change for the better good. That's the theme of Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada. Now, Saturn aspects your 5th house, and Saturn will aspect your 8th house. So definitely, because it aspects 5th and 8th, it will create extreme amount of intuitive energy. It will help students who want to learn and get educated, especially in the field of technology. in the field of critical studies, critical illnesses. If you are a doctor related to that, you will stand to gain lot while Saturn is in this nakshatra. Now for a normal person, this can be a wonderful time, because if you want to be free from something, it can be a big problem. This nakshatra will help you. Doing Saturn jap, doing Shani mantra havan, chanting Shani Bij mantra is going to help you tremendously, and after all, surrendering to Mahadev will definitely help you in the long run. Taurus. If you are a Taurus ascendant native, then Saturn transit in Purva Bhadrapada will be in your 10th house. Now, 10th Lord is in 10th house, Saturn in Aquarius, and it's Mool Trikon zodiac sign. Finally, it is getting direct, it is going to be very good for your career. But let's dissect it more. Let's focus Saturn's energy in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. This nakshatra is famous for its sacrifices, its rejection of the Maya and moving to the next chapter of life. Saturn in the 10th house shows that career will move to the next chapter. You will start new things in your life and new initiatives will happen, and the old things will cease to exist. This is also going to confirm when Saturn moves to the 11th house on 30th of March, but still in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Saturn will be covering 3 padas of Purva Bhadrapada in Aries and 1 pada in Pisces. Now Purva Bhadrapada is a Jupiter's nakshatra. Jupiter is retrograde in the Taurus zodiac sign in your Lagna. So definitely events related to career will make you undertake certain sacrifices, certain challenges that will push you for success, but the process will need letting go of lot of things. Career is something that will go under constant scrutiny and constant change, so don't be surprised if you are being questioned about your abilities, about your way to handle situation. If you want to change your career, if you want to move to a bigger role, if you want to move to executive positions, if you want to move to a higher ladder in the corporate sector, this Saturn transit is going to help you. But all of it will need certain level of letting go. Maybe you have worked a lot in a current organization, and now you may have to let go your attachment in order to move to a different career trajectory. Maybe you will have to change your domain. Maybe you will have to change your approach and attitude, something that you will have to realize what you have been continuing from very long time that has been holding you back in your career. That has to be changed while Saturn is in the Jupiter's nakshatra, Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra theme is connected to funeral, letting go and moving into new dimensions. So if you want to take a dimensional leap, if you want to follow your passion and do something that you have never thought before, this is one final opportunity, while the Moola Trikona energies of the Shani powers the 9th and the 10th house. This is a destiny altering time for many, especially if you are in Shani Dasha or Shani Antar Dasha. If you have a very powerful Saturn in your chart, this can make you grow leaps and bounds, and something that has never happened before may happen now. So you should be up for it, you should go for it. Now Saturn aspects 4th house. Matters related to career will definitely make you undertake certain sacrifices on the home front, will make you be a less connected from the family and be more connected towards the career. And therefore you will have to observe if your work-life balance is getting disturbed, and you will have to purposefully manage it. Saturn's energy is little heavy, and the tilt and the weight is towards the career side. So the home front can be ignored at this point of time. This can influence your marriage negatively. So when you are working, when you are trying to achieve a lot, also ensure that you take proper rest, and also ensure that you focus more on the personal sector also. New businesses may happen. A lot of people might quit their job to start new business, and if you want to do that, you can start a business with respect to things that you are confident at, that you know completely. Chanting Shani mantra is a very good remedy here. Chanting Bhairava mantra or doing Kal Bhairav Upasana is going to be a very good remedy for you. Gemini. In case of Gemini ascendant, Saturn rules your 8th house and Saturn rules your 9th house. So Saturn rules all the ups and downs and uncertainties of your life. But Saturn is also the maker of your destiny. It's your 9th lord. And when Saturn, which is the 9th lord, comes in contact with Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, then definitely this is going to create a different kind of dimension, different kind of fragrance in your life. With the 8th house energy going in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it is the most intense and difficult transformation that you have ever seen, resulting into a powerful personality, resulting into a powerful future. But yes, you will have to focus more on sacrificing the uncertain things in your life, sacrificing the unnecessary, and get rid of something that is that you feel is no longer needed in your life. So being removing the toxicity, detoxifying your life is going to be the theme of this transit. Focusing on health is going to be the theme of the transit. On top of that, 9th house is the house responsible for your faith, belief system, structure, discipline. It is the platform on which the entire life stands, and that platform is going to change. That means it can give you a lot of surprises. Somebody whom you were relying upon may betray you. So be careful. Do not go for blind faith. Focus on your own confidence, on your own knowledge, and focus on learning everything firsthand and not completely relying on other factors of life, because you cannot control the external factors. Although Saturn being in its own zodiac sign is going to be very positive for you. After all, it is Shani in its Moola Trikona zodiac sign in your Bhagyasthan. It's your 9th lord, the house of destiny, and 9th lord being in the 9th house in Purva Bhadrapada shows a complete change of destiny. So now if you're looking for a career change, this can be the time. This is the time when relationship with your in-laws can change. Maybe suddenly you might start a partnership with your brother-in-law, with people who are long distance in the long distance relation. If you're looking for investors, if you're looking for a help that comes from your life partner or help that comes from the external source, this can be that time. This can give you that opportunity, and Gemini will see the brightest of the future from mid 2025. Now Saturn will enter into your 10th house on 30th of March. It will encounter the 4th pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. This is going to be the time to focus more on karma. This will be the time to focus more on understanding the truth of life rather than fighting for illusions. Rahu is in the 10th house. Remember, Rahu is going to create an illusion of knowledge that you know a lot. But remember, Saturn wants you to get rid of that knowledge and be an empty cup. That is where Saturn wants you to sit in the lap of Ganga and be here in serene and tranquility and focus on restructuring your life. Discipline is going to be the biggest theme. Now, people who are looking for professional certifications, people who are looking for professional examination, success in that area, success in medical field, success in say engineering and technology, all that is possible in this time, but this will demand some sacrifice. On one hand, you will get something. On the other hand, you will have to give up and give away few things. So if you are scared of giving away, if you are scared of losing something, then this transit can be a little difficult. But otherwise, this transit will give you gains that you have never seen before in matters of investment, in matters of real estate, in matters of travel and tourism, in matters of foreign exchange, in matters of professional education, in matters of promotion. All that is possible. But what you will have to do is, you will have to understand the 8th house. First, the flavor will be that it is going to remove everything. It is going to scrape everything. It is going to remove the top layer, which is grilling, grinding, a little difficult. And then comes the shiny interiors, and you will be shining bright. Your soul will be shining bright. Focus on soul realignment. People who are connected to sadhana will be seeing presence of a guru. You might experience Kundalini Jagran to a certain extent. You might experience some sort of spiritual growth during this time. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya maybe 125,000 times will be very good for you. Cancer Ascendant. Now, if you are looking at Cancer Ascendant, you are looking at Saturn being the 7th Lord and Saturn being the 8th Lord. Now, with the planet that rules 8th house, it's naturally the owner of the uncertainties of life, the ups and downs of life. It kind of provides you the will to live, it kind of provides you the will to drive. It rules the public assets, it rules the in-laws, it rules your marriage. And such a planet, Saturn, when it goes into the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the 8th house and then it goes into the 9th house, it shows that the right guidance will come from people that are right in front of you. The right guidance will come from your business partner, from your life partner. The right guidance might come from people that are your well-wishers. So what should you do? You should not ignore people who are suggesting you something, people who are your spouse, your life partner. And on the other hand, this also shows that you might find a little difficulty in understanding them. See, that's the nature of Saturn and your ascendant. Your ascendant and your 7th house are two very contrasting planets. Your ascendant is ruled by Moon, Chandra, which is more about emotions. Whereas 7th house and 8th house is Saturn, which is more about stillness, which is more about patience, karma, which is against the moon. But if you see, if the moon is water, Saturn is the bank of the river, which holds the water. So here, there can be certain restrictive actions or restrictive suggestions given by people around you, given by your life partner, given by the circumstances, and these restrictive actions are actually good for you. So you should focus on, focus on the practical side of everything rather than the emotional side. Purva Bhadrapada is the nakshatra of Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the 11th house, which means that this Saturn wants to give you. It's more about gains, it's more about being honest, it's more about being connected with the people around you. Also, 8th house is also about the assets of your life partner. It's also about investment, insurances. It's about money that can be used for an event that happens after a very long time, or maybe post your death. So term insurances should be taken. People who are involved in the insurance domain will see good growth. This is the time to save. This is the time to save for long term. This is the time when you should focus on providing security to the family, because Saturn aspects the 2nd house. 2nd house, the house of assets. 2nd house, the house of resources. 2nd house, the house of money. Now, definitely from the perspective of career, it will be one of the most biggest transformative time in your life, because Saturn from the 8th house aspects the 10th house, and also it will move to the 9th house. So definitely this Saturn is going to transform your career. The Shani, also this Saturn aspects the 5th house about the knowledge. So definitely your knowledge is going to be more practical, and you are going to unlearn a lot of things, which is the theme of this transit. Unlearn and relearn. Now, while Saturn sits in Purva Bhadrapada, this can be a little difficult in married life, because sometimes your opinion may differ from your life partner. Yes, their opinions are important, but it will be different from what you expect from life, and that is where the tussle is. So if you are flexible, if you are grounded, if you think of the long term, then today's, you can say, sacrifice can be tomorrow's brighter gains. So this is the outlook that you should have while Saturn moves in Purva Bhadrapada through the 8th house. Then it moves into the 9th house after 30th of March, and Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada's final pada in the 9th house is definitely going to be something that connects with your ascendant. You know why? Because Purva Bhadrapada's final pada or Pisces first pada falls in Cancer Navamsha. So Saturn directly impacts your ascendant, and your whole personality, whole world around you might change. So expect intense transformation, intense, you can say, change in your life. Certain things might end, certain projects that you are doing that are closer to your heart might end, but ultimate result is positive. So think of the long term. Career wise, this is going to be good. This is going to be a transit that can give you money. It will make you take necessary changes that will trigger a long-term chain reaction. So I'm repeating this word long-term again and again, so to remind you that not to worry, especially if you're a Cancer moon sign, your Ashtam Dhaya is going to bring you something tremendously positive. All you have to do is wait. Leo. Now in case of Leo as an ascendant, your 6th and 7th house is ruled by Saturn. 6th house is the house which is responsible for your day-to-day activity, which is responsible to bring discipline in your life. It's a house that is called Aribhava. It's a house that represents enemies. It's a house that represents challenges, day-to-day challenges. And 7th house is about marriage, life partner. So when Saturn goes in Purva Bhadrapada in 7th house, This is actually good in having a practical understanding about married life. This is good in having a practical understanding about business that you want to do. You might get certain advices, or you may learn from difficult situations in life what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. So this may not be a very pleasant experience from Saturn, but this may be a good teaching, because Saturn might interfere in your day-to-day activities, especially related to married life and business partnerships. And it wants to remind you of certain difficulties and challenges that you might face. So you might have to face the harsh truth. It might present to you the utter reality of everything, and that might disappoint you, because you might be in a certain mental state or certain excitement, certain hope that you might have about all of these things, which Saturn might break with the real picture, which is actually good for you, because if you want to, say, marry someone, you should know whom you are marrying. Say you want to start a business, then you should know all the shortcomings, all the possibilities of downfall. And if you know that, and if you move with that sense, with that understanding, then things are permanent. So what Saturn is going to do is, first of all, it will remove all the unnecessary, all the temporary, and this is the theme I am talking about. This theme will run as a base theme in your married and business life, and Saturn is going to bring in things that are permanent. Temporary is going to go away, permanent is going to come back, which is actually good for you, but the experience may be bad. Maybe this might, in certain people, cause breakups, certain arguments in marriage. Maybe your spouse was unhappy but not saying. Now they may say that in front of your face, and you may have to accept it. Maybe you were never expecting that, but now you can. So you will see that the people's behavior will change, and it might look as if things are against against your wishes and against your plan. But that's the universe's plan to guide you in the right direction by tilting your face to the right direction if you are pointing towards a wrong path of life. So this is going to recalibrate and bring you back forcibly. This may make you feel a little bit of force, because the ultimate trajectory of Purva Bhadrapada energy is to the 8th house. So the initial experience may be a little rough, but have patience. Focus on your true sense, true life's purpose, and you will find life's purpose. You may get support from unexpected people, from people whom you have thought that they may never support you. You might get support from them. One way to handle these energies is to be in a city like Kashi, or be in a place which is close to water, so that it cools down all your heat of the mind. Sun, Surya will be in the Sagittarius zodiac sign when the transit of Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada will happen, which definitely indicates that this is the time to learn, because Sun will be in your 5th house. Your ascendant lord will be in the 5th house when Saturn will be going to Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, Purva Bhadrapada is a nakshatra of Jupiter. And where is Jupiter? It is in the 10th house. So definitely it is going to work towards your reputation, your designation will change, and suddenly you might realize that you have worked for someone or somebody, and you have worked really hard, but now you are not getting the worth. You are seeing the true face of people. This, again, I will repeat, may cause certain disappointments. Go forward with that disappointment. Do not hold yourself back. Understand the true picture and move ahead and fulfill your ambitions, because that is exactly what will happen. Do not forget, Saturn is in a Mula Trikona zodiac sign. This is a make and break situation, make or break situation for you. This Mula Trikona Shani is not a bad Saturn, just that you may feel it as a bad, because naturally your nature is more aligned with the Surya, the power, the authority. But this Saturn wants you to destroy that authority and completely surrender. And if you surrender and if you focus on your core strength, you will achieve more than expected. Now, if you have a bad Saturn or weak Saturn in your horoscope, if you are running a Shani Antardasha, Mahadasha, then a Shani Jap or a Shani Havan, Shani Shanti Havan will be a very good way to handle the energies. Also, chanting Om Sham Shaneshwaraya Namah is going to be a perfect way to blend with the Saturnian energy, and the key word will be patience. Virgo. Now, in case of Virgo, Saturn rules your 5th house, Saturn rules your 6th house. And Saturn will be in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 6th house. This is going to be very, very good for your service industry, for your job, for your career, for resolving issues that are related to court matters, for resolving any kind of issues that you face in day-to-day life. But the way Saturn is going to create a cleansing energy is that Saturn is going to remove the toxicity. Saturn is going to take things away from your life. Saturn wants you to bring discipline in your life. Saturn wants you to bring structure in your life. And without proper planning, if you go ahead in your life, then things will not go the way it should. So the first thing that you should remember is create a proper plan. Whether you can follow the plan or not is a different thing. At least you should try. But you should create a proper planning in your life, right, by taking a pen and a diary and a calendar. Structure everything, and with structure, if you follow discipline of food, discipline of getting up and sleeping, these three things, you will see tremendous results in your life. Now 6th house is also about health. Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will draw your attention towards your health, towards your well-being, and how important it is that you should focus on the discipline towards a healthy life. So if you lead a holistic life and lead with holistic lifestyle, this transit is going to prove extremely, extremely positive. Now Saturn has a third aspect on the Ashtama Bhav, 8th house. And this means that certain plan to save in your life, certain way to manage funds in your life will change. Saturn aspects the 3rd house. This means you will take initiatives that will be disruptive in your life. You will take bold initiatives towards your career, towards marriage, towards business. So for Virgo, this is all about learning. This is all about being smart. This is all about focusing in the right direction. And if you are someone who is trying to find a job, or if you are someone who is trying to create a way in competitive industry through competitive examination, if you are planning to become a doctor, this can be a great time. 6th house Saturn is never bad. 6th house Saturn is a Saturn that keeps the ball rolling. However slow it may roll, it will keep moving in the right direction. As long as you don't give up, as long as you don't throw yourself under the bus, you will be coming out with flying colors. All you have to do is stay motivated and move in the right direction by chanting Om Namah Shivaya. You can also chant Kal Bhairav mantra, read Kal Bhairav Ashtakam, Kashika Puradhinath Kal Bhairavam Bhaje. And if you are meditating every day, if you are spending half an hour in yoga, this is definitely going to give you a lot of success, a healthy lifestyle. So if you find a good yoga class near you, if you find a good yoga teacher, try to connect with them and try to heal your body, because this will be a very, very healing transit. Now couples who are having problems related to their children will also find peace and maybe a right direction in their life. This is also going to work brilliantly in your favor. So for Virgo, this is going to be an excellent time. It's going to be a time of healing. It's going to be a time of rejuvenation, relaxation, and a possible new learnings in your life. You will become a better version of you. Overall, it's a thumbs up. Libra. Now in case of Libra ascendant, your ascendant is the place where Saturn gets exalted. Now Saturn rules your 4th house and Saturn rules your 5th house. With 4th and 5th, Saturn rules two very primary places in your horoscope, one Kendra and one Trine, central and trinal houses. Such Saturn, when it goes in the 5th house in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this changes the learning sector of your life. If you're a student, if you are in any way connected to professional studies, if you are connected to competitive examination, if you want to express yourself through the art and direction, this is going to be a very, very important transit for you. Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is a kind of a planetary position where you will get to learn so many things from life. This is more about a learning curve. This transit is all about getting educated. getting educated not only from the school where you are learning, but also from the school of life. A fifth house Saturn definitely means that you are going to express yourself in a very disciplined manner. Your expression will be more structured, your construction of sentences will be more structured. This is going to cause some positive approach in your horoscope. This is going to create holistic guidance through the presence of gurus and through the teachings of ancient masters. Fifth house is also about children. So if you have any complication related to childbirth, if you have any problem related to the education of children, if you have any complication related to these areas of life, Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada will help you overcome these difficulties, will make you more practical, will help you absorb things in a better manner, will help you understand things in a better manner, and you will be able to overcome the challenges by being grounded and practical rather than emotional. This Saturn has a direct impact on the 11th house, which also shows that you may get into a career which is widely different from what you have learned or what you are educated into. Say for example, some person who has completed its degree of engineering becomes a photographer. This kind of experimentation, this kind of detachment from the current education may happen this time when Saturn will be in Aquarius and in this nakshatra, and Saturn will be moving to your 6th house. Therefore, your entire focus will be how can you practically earn a livelihood out of the education. People who are in the education sector, people who want to become professor, people who are teachers, who are mentors, who are guide, will greatly benefit from this transit if you are a Libra ascendant, and especially if you are a Libra moon sign. The future movement of Saturn is positive because Saturn will move into your 6th house. 6th house Saturn is good for creating job. If you are into service industry, if you are into the job sector, if you are somebody who is into the resource management, who is into the HR, who are into the public relations, who are the editors, who are the script writers, who are people who are working behind the scene, who are the core pillars of a foundation, you will be greatly benefiting from the Saturn's movement. Although you may not come into the limelight, but definitely the Saturn transit is going to affect your life positively. On the other hand, with the matters related to love and romance, this can be slightly difficult and negative because love is something that is more platonic. Love is something that might be more in the realm of imagination and realization. Saturn being in the 5th house wants you to go into acceptance of reality and show the groundedness side of it. This might show you or expose the ugly truth, the reality of the relationship. If it is sustainable, you will go ahead. If it is not, this may cause some breakups or difficult marriage timelines. So for the next 3 to 4 months, manage your personal life with great deal of perseverance, great deal of patience, and great deal of where you can manage and adapt to situations rather than confronting them head on. This is time for cooperation, not for fight. Scorpio. Now in case of Scorpio as an ascendant, Saturn is very, very important because Saturn rules your 3rd house and 4th house. 4th house is your Sukhasthana. That means a place where you will feel comforts of life, a place that connects you with your own mother. 3rd house is something that connects you with your neighbors. 3rd house is something that helps you get connected with your own life, with your own hard work and efforts. And that is the thing that connects you with life, that connects you with your own soul. And Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada wants you go soul searching. It is more about soul realignment. It's more about life taking a new course. Purva Bhadrapada shows sacrifices. Purva Bhadrapada shows that you have to let go. And if you want to be happy, this is the time to set yourself free. This is the time to drop the inhibitions and do the impossible. Saturn aspecting the 10th house also shows your designation will change. Designation in your personal life, designation in your professional life. If you are looking for a promotion, if you are unhappy with the current state of life, then Saturn will create necessary changes in the first 3-4 months of 2025, and it will create a huge shift in your life. Maybe you are feeling happy about something now, but tomorrow that very particular thing may not make you feel happier. Maybe you will start feeling happy with a very different kind of lifestyle. That is where the taste is going to change Your taste of life, lifestyle will change when Saturn will enter the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, if you see, the nakshatra is ruled by Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is your 7th house. So your life partner is going to be playing a vital role in bringing happiness in your life, in stabilizing your home environment. And if you are listening to your life partner's valuable advices, correct advices, you will realize that you will be in a better shape in your life. Also, matters related to property, real estate, matters related to housing and finances will improve in the first 3 to 4 months, and you will see that if you are looking for a house to settle down, if you want to stabilize your mind, and if you want to reduce anxiety, Saturn in this nakshatra will help you deal with all these complications of life, especially on the home front. Now, health of the mother can be a challenge, and in this case, Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will help you focus more on getting detached and helping your mother, helping people around you in a practical manner, not with emotions. So if you deal life with emotions, it can go little complicated. If you deal life with practicality, Saturn will help you stabilizing all the expressions of life. Now, Saturn actually aspects the 6th house, which is responsible for constant motion in life, constant movement in life. If something is stuck, something is not moving, Saturn is going to move that. This is going to be a huge push, an uncomfortable push in life that will force you to take certain decisions, take initiatives that will create a different trajectory for yourself, career-wise or professionally. 4th house also shows that matters related to land, agriculture will be resolved, but with certain letting go, certain sacrifices. Matters related to court cases may be settled out of court, but there can be certain deal or certain kind of a settlement that will happen. You are not going to get everything, but you are going to get enough that will be good for sustenance. Ultimately, Saturn moves to the 5th house, house of Amrit, and here Saturn wants you to stay. Saturn wants you to focus on education and learning. So now what you have to do is, no matter how difficult the situation is, start writing certain learning, certain aspects of life, and what have you learned from that, and apply that in real life. Reading Bhagavad Gita and applying Bhagavad Gita in real life is going to be a very good remedy for you. Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Saturn is a very, very different kind of planet. For you, Saturn rules your 2nd house, house of resources, values. It rules your money, finances. And then Saturn rules your 3rd house. 3rd house is the house of siblings. 3rd house is the house of stability, your initiatives, your neighbors, small distance travel. Saturn coming in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 3rd house represents religious travel, spiritual trips, and you should be ready to give up certain habits and certain practices and certain approach and attitude in order to build something different for your life. You can be the architect of your life when Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is ruled by Jupiter, and your ascendant lord is Jupiter. Jupiter, which is in your 6th house, and therefore this can create a new chain reaction in your life. It can create a new series of events. So if you want to start a new venture at this time, if you want to launch a new product at this time, if you want to do things differently, this can be the time. Purva Bhadrapada energy is the energy of finishing off one thing and then starting something different. It is the energy to move into a new dimension. It is the energy to be at a place which is very different than usual. It is something that is not normal. It is something that is very transcendental. It is also going to make you realize the importance of being in a place like Kashi. Kashi, which is, according to me, a Nagari, a city that represents Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the city of Moksha. The Nakshatra also represents Moksha. 3rd house Purva Bhadrapada shows that you want to liberate yourself from all the shackles, and this is exactly what will happen. So if you are into any kind of foundation, any kind of burden in life, Saturn Transit in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will help you release yourself from that burden, free yourself from the shackles, and this is the time when certain decisions that you will take about yourself, about your life, about travel will make you a better person and will create a new series of events in your life, which is good for you. So don't be hesitant if you really want to take certain bold decisions. Obviously, you will have to calculate that. Third house also shows that people who are in the automobile industry, or if you are simply a driver or you hire a driver, if you are somebody who has a company related to automobile or just a showroom, or if you repair parts of the car or a vehicle, you are going to get tremendous amount of advantage and opportunities when Saturn will be in the third house. Also, if you are a broker, if you are a real estate agent, if you are somebody who is moving one place to the other into the logistics, Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will help you a lot. Third house also shows that you will have to forget a lot of things. Maybe the past, you have to let it go. What is done, what is gone, and now you should start afresh. It is going to be a beginning, a new beginning for you. For Sagittarius, Jupiter in the 6th house will ensure that you focus on the minuscule things in life, you focus on more structure. So you will see suddenly you will give up any randomness and you will become more disciplined and structure starting January 2025. So 2025 can be the year for you if you are more disciplined. Now Saturn aspects the 9th house, so definitely there will be pilgrimages on the card. So go and visit Jyotirlingas if possible. You can be in the city of Kashi, Banaras, where I am making this video at the ghats of River Ganga, and you can just enjoy the serene beauty here, and this is going to trigger a lot of energies in your horoscope. And if you have a planet in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your horoscope, then definitely this is going to be a tremendous time of opportunities and a time of great change for you. Third house also represents neighbors. Third house also represents people who are at one arm distance, people who are very close to you. Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra will teach you that somebody whom you think is not that important can be very important, and towards someone whom you rely upon may be the person who will be the least helpful person. This practicality you will get to know, and the more practical you are, the more grounded you are, the better your life will be. Certain realizations will happen in your life, so meditate a lot, and this sixth sense, it will give you, your gut feeling is going to talk to you. You should write that down, and you will see that certain messages that you get are going to be critical for your professional and personal growth. Now, for couples who are trying to look for childbirth, for couples who are trying to look for better health, this can be the time, because a good health and a childbirth may need a lot of sacrifices in life. You may have to give up junk food, say, for good health. You may have to run, and you may have to endure the strength, the exercise, the body pain. You have to recover, you have to overcome all that difficulties, and you will be finding some positive things. So if you are looking for a good health, you can take that extra mile. Also for athletes and for people who are involved in sports or who are into the orthopedics, who are the doctors, who are surgeons, this can be a very good time. And if you are a student who are trying to learn critical medicine, or if you are going to be a doctor of critical illnesses, then it is a very good time to study that if you are interested. And if you are giving some competitive examination, the chance that you will become successful will be higher. Overall, for Sagittarius, this is going to be a time to build your future. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, it is your ascendant lord and your second lord being in the second house in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now second house is the house of values, second house is the house of money. It is called Dhanasthan, it is called Kutumbasthan, house of family, house of money, it is your bank balance. Therefore, it is your resources in life. Usually when Saturn is in the second house, it kind of captures that house, it makes it very heavy, and there is a certain level of deficiency it creates. When Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada, the recommendation will be to remove everything that is unnecessary from your home, remove everything that is old and that is unusable. Either you have to find some use for it, and if not, then the energy can become very stagnated, energy can become negative and can affect your Vastu. You have to let it go, you have to throw it away. Now, when Saturn is in the second house, it will ask you to rework on the resources that you have. Say you have a certain amount of funds in the bank balance, you want to buy something, you want to invest somewhere. You know that there are certain value systems that you follow, certain ethics, certain guidelines, certain principles that you follow. Saturn may make you rework on all this, Saturn may make you question all this because of the nature of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. On top of that, the ruler of Purva Bhadrapada, Jupiter, is in the 9th house, house of Taurus. And this Jupiter is aspecting your ascendant. Therefore, this means that guidance will come your way. You should follow the advice of the family member. You should discuss matters that are critical with your family and with your people around you whom you can trust, whom you can connect with. And if you don't have anybody, then the professional consultation with an astrologer, if you have financial problems, maybe a CA, if you have legal problems, maybe a lawyer, is mandatory, because Saturn is something which is not non-emotional. Saturn is something which is very practical and grounded, and professional advices are mandatory if you are stuck in these kind of problems. Second house is very critical. Second house is something which is without which you can't even function. If you don't have money, you won't be able to buy a food. So second house is that important. Saturn is going to bring the value back. It is going to take away the deficit and give you sufficient. Don't expect surplus. Expect karma phal coming your way. And then on 30th of March, Saturn will move to the 3rd house. This shows that ultimately for money, for the sake of family, you may end up moving to a nearby city, or maybe you will change a country. So people who are looking for job change, people who are looking for country change, people who are looking for change in their residences, people who are looking to stay in a nuclear family, resolve judicial cases in the family, land and flat related, property related cases in the family, this can be an apt time. This can actually resolve those issues in life. Saturn will also aspect 4th house, 8th house and 11th house. Therefore, Saturn is going to make you realize the importance of savings. Therefore, the more you save during this time, the more you value your funds, value your resources, the better your life will be. But if you try to hoard, if you try to say spend more, if you try to buy more things than needed, then second house Saturn might create a lesson for you, might teach you that this is not necessary. Purva Bhadrapada is not a hoarder. Purva Bhadrapada is more of rejoicing the moksha and letting go. Second house means a lot of people will let go their family and move to a different location, maybe a different city. If you want to change your residency and country, say somebody wants to quit their citizenship and want to relocate to another city or another country for citizenship. Say you are a football player and you no longer want to play for your country, you want to play for another club or another country. Well, Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada is going to help you on that. Now, if you have problems related to money, and if you think that people are not helping you, well, this is the reality Saturn will teach you, that you have to follow things by yourself and you have to move in your own direction through your own sheer willpower, and your willpower is going to be tested. So be prepared. It is going to be a very good time for you, but you need to be strong, you need to stay strong, and for that you need to chant Rudrashtakam, and you can also chant Shani Mantra, Om Sham Shanishwaraya Namah. And if you can do some remedies related to Saturn, a Havan related to Shani Dev, Mantra Jap related to Shani Dev, that will be very, very auspicious. Aquarius. Now, in case of Aquarius ascendant, your ascendant lord is Saturn. Your 12th lord is Saturn. Now, when the Lagna lord and the 12th lord goes in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra for one final time, and until the next 30 years it won't come back. This is the time to change your personality. This is the time to sacrifice, throw away the negative things from your life, and this is the time to detoxify and cleanse yourself. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra can be sometimes very heavy, very tricky, and sometimes it can be a nakshatra that can give you lots and lots of blessings. So do not underestimate the Saturn's transit. Do not get feared also. Don't get scared. This nakshatra shows that you will let go of a lot of inhibitions in your life. Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada breaks the boundaries to create a newer set of boundaries. Usually what happens is that maybe you have created a certain wall around yourself. You have created a certain set of rules around yourself. Saturn coming in this nakshatra and then Saturn going into your second house shows that you are ready to take that next leap. You are ready to take the next jump. The momentum is going to now increase and the tide is going to turn in your favor. Overall personality change will happen when Saturn will be in this nakshatra. This also shows that you are going to take certain initiatives and you will change yourself for marriage. So if you are getting unmarried, If you are unmarried and if you're not getting married, if you're trying to find a life partner but you're unable to, maybe certain personality changes or attitude changes are needed. This Saturn transit will help you, or at least it will remind you, it will make you realize what is needed, what is to be done in order to achieve a certain goal or reach a place that you want to be. So definitely this is going to have a tremendous transformation in your life. Saturn in this nakshatra is going to play a vital role for your career, for your business, because Saturn will directly aspect your 7th house. So if there is something that is rotten in your life, if there is something that is really negative, this nakshatra will make it either positive or either it will take you away from it. All you have to do is just go with the flow. Now definitely Saturn is going to create certain changes in your career. Certain responsibilities might increase because Saturn has 10th aspect on the 10th house. So responsibilities will increase. You might feel the pressure, and that is why you might feel the need to let go. And for this time, the letting go will happen and all your wishes will come true. So do not underestimate this Saturn's nakshatra transit. It can be tremendously positive for Aquarius ascendant. And Aquarius moon sign, for you, this can be a kind of a time frame when your mind is getting free from all the anxiety. So if you're a patient of anxiety, if you're a patient of anything that is mentally traumatizing or putting you in trouble, Saturn in this nakshatra will guide you. Some sadhana is needed. See, Purva Bhadrapada is called burning. Burning, this is inner burning to burn out all the negative things from your life, and what is remainder is what you have to carry yourself with. So you will have to move with the remainder after all the tapasya. So tapasya is needed, havan is needed, hard work is needed, and the results will soon follow. With respect to brothers and siblings, little tension may rise during this time. You may be more worried about their career, you may be more worried about their life, their marriage. What you have to do is just try to be with them, and a self-sacrifice will be the demand of this Saturn for the people around you, for your career. So what you have to do is you will have to prepare yourself for the battle, for the war that comes ahead. Nothing negative, everything is positive, but every challenge needs to be faced, every examination has to be given if you really want to succeed and come first. Without examination, you cannot determine who is first and who is last. So this is the power of Saturn in this nakshatra. Now where is Jupiter placed? Ruler of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Jupiter is placed in your 10th house. Jupiter is retrograding. That means significant energy is going to focus on the career side, and your career is going to take a dramatic turn starting January 2025. And if you are expecting a good career change, or if you are struggling in career, those problems might end and it will settle you down once for all. After all, it's your Lagna Lord leaving your Lagna. It won't disappoint you. It will make you settle for the better. All you have to do is have patience and move with the flow. Do not underestimate your own potential and move one step at a time. Pisces. In case of Pisces, do you realize that Saturn rules your gain as well as your loss? Saturn gives you, and Saturn has the power to take things away from you. Saturn rules your 11th house as Capricorn, and Saturn rules your 12th house as Aquarius. Now when Saturn rules the 10th and 11th, and when 11th Lord is in the 12th house in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this is the time for ultimate sacrifice. You want to give up few things in life. If you want to give up smoking, you want to give up alcohol, this is the perfect time. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra energy can give you the power to transcend into different dimension. And if you want really your life to get transcended to a different dimension, if you want to get rid of something in life, this is the time. You want to bring a change, this is the time. This is the time to go minimalistic. This is the time to detoxify your life. 12th house is the house of sacrifice, donation. So if you do certain donation for people who are in need, then definitely Saturn's energy will be very profiting you. Saturn will be giving you a lot of things. Saturn energy will be extremely beneficial. Saturn will bless you. On the other hand, 12th house is also about isolation. So Saturn going in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra can create a sudden sense of isolation in a lot of people. you may have certain pessimistic thoughts, and you may suddenly feel the need to be alone. You may feel the need to be away from all the chaos and all the hustle and bustle and be in silence. A lot of people who are in the spiritual path will feel this even more, and therefore meditation will become a key factor in your life. The more you try to meditate in your life, the better your life will be while Saturn is in this nakshatra. Why? Because Saturn will enter your ascendant via this nakshatra. One pada of Purva Bhadrapada is on your lagna. So definitely this is an overhaul in your life. This will give you a lot of changes. This is going to definitely give you a new character for yourself. Now on the mundane level, this is not only going to make you a different person, some will be made a different person by choice, and someone may experience some negativity in their life that will trigger a certain chain reaction. Maybe you may experience a certain kind of negative event, and that can push you towards Bholenath, that can push you towards meditation. So instead of universe trying to push you in that path, you take the first step, you take the baby steps and start moving your direction towards meditation, towards a little bit of isolation, spending 15 minutes of quality time with yourself. Do something for yourself, because this will make you do a lot of sacrifices for people you love. All that is fine, but if you ignore yourself, when Saturn comes on the lagna, it will be a humongous pressure that will build up on your head. So try to release that pressure. If you are already overwhelmed in life by doing too much, try to trim down the responsibilities in your life. Try to reduce the load, because if you don't do that, you will be in a big soup. Now Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada is good for people who are traveling overseas, who are traveling abroad, who are working in an export and import, who are working in pharmaceutical industry, who are working in exchange of land and agriculture department, who are working in the sanitation sector, who are working in the piping and heavy machinery, who works with the heavy earth machineries. Job or business, this might help you a lot. And Saturn's transit in Jupiter's nakshatra is also a reminder that your ascendant lord is going to help you. Remember, your ascendant lord Jupiter is in the 3rd house, and therefore you need to take decisions very carefully. Saturn being in the 12th house also aspects your 2nd house, and therefore financial decisions will have to be taken carefully during this time. Expenses can be little on the higher side.